Yo, what is up guys, it's Ghost here, welcome back to another video. In this one, we have yet another news roundup for Battlefield 6. So we have the first ever footage of the largest map coming to Battlefield 6, Mirak Valley. It isn't a lot of footage, so I'm just going to warn you guys here, don't expect anything too much, but it is the first ever seen footage of the map. We've got a new portal leak coming out of Temporal, which ties into the Battle Royale mode in fact, and then we have an update on the Phantom program in Battlefield 2042 as well. So as always, if you guys enjoy the content on the channel, hit the sub button. I'll be covering everything Battlefield 6 going forward. Don't forget to follow on the Twitch channel as well. I'll be streaming there as well as here on this channel pretty regularly. So thank you guys for your support. So just quickly before we get started guys, I wanted to ask you all, what sort of video format do you prefer from my channel? Over the past couple of days, I've been experimenting with a more facecam oriented video style where I'm actually talking to you guys as opposed to the regular gameplay, and then been putting some gameplay over the top of it. I know when I listen to these kind of videos myself, like, I'm generally not looking at the screen. I'm driving, I'm washing up, I'm doing something while I'm listening to the video, and so what is on the screen doesn't really matter a whole lot to me, but maybe it does to you guys, so feel free to chime in below and let me know what sort of style of video you prefer. I would really appreciate that. Alright, first off here, let's take a look at what Temporal has found. So he posts this over on X, and he says players can use 6 key points of interest from the Battle Royale map in Battlefield 6's Portal editor to create their own custom experiences. The files also hint at a Portal sandbox map. So let's take a look at his slide here. We've got Marina, which is somewhere on Linden Beach, which has to be like one of the maps set in California, which apparently is the Battle Royale map. We've got the Golf Club, we've got Area 22B. I'm not sure if these pictures he's posting here, like, obviously they're real life pictures, so I'm not sure they're necessarily indicative of what we're going to find on the map. Like Area 22B just kind of looks like a port, but I digress. Then we've got downtown, we've got Tech Campus at Fort Linden, and then we have the military storage as well. Now, if you do recall, some time ago, Temporal actually data mined a full map of what he thinks is the Battle Royale map that's going to be coming to Battlefield 6 sometime in the future. That was unfortunately DMCA'd, so it's no longer available on his Twitter feed, but I actually did do a video on that, so I'll link you guys to the description. And I think some of these areas, what he's saying here, are coming from that map, and you're going to be able to take some of those key areas and basically create experiences in Portal's editor out of those. So essentially think of them as like mini maps. I think that's actually a really cool idea. It makes a lot of sense, you know, don't just use this massive sprawling map for Battle Royale, but also to make smaller maps in the game, because a lot of players, I think, and feel free to chime in down below guys and let me know what you think about this, but I think a lot of us aren't necessarily interested in really playing a Battle Royale or an extraction shooter or something, right? We just want to play Battlefield, so it makes a lot of sense to repurpose these maps for those players. Okay, let's move on. So the official Battlefield 6 Twitter account, or the X account I should say, has started to post some little teaser videos actually of some of the gadgets that they're adding to the game, and you guys will have played around with this one in the beta, the acoustic AV sensor mine. They actually say an anti-vehicle mine that locates targets in the immediate area via audio sensors. I've got mixed feelings on this gadget as a tanker, or just as a player in general, because mines in Battlefield have always been this visible thing where you can see them ahead of you on the road, and if you manage to spot them, you can take them out as a tanker. If you don't, then you can run over them and die, and you can see from the way this is set up here that this mine is completely out of the line of sight of this tanker, and they locate tanks based on audio sensors and shoot up into the air and do a top-down attack like a javelin, essentially meaning there's no real way, I don't think, that you can counter this. Like, I don't think you get a lock-on sound or anything, so you can't smoke it. There probably will be APS in the game, so you will be able to use that, but again, how will you know that it's coming unless you see it pop up in the air and you know that it's necessarily going for you and you can pump APS before that happens? They also did a ton of damage, like 60% damage to the tanks, so I think this is like a cool gadget, but it kind of really throws the balance of regular mine versus tank gameplay out of the window, in my opinion. However, what you'll also notice, if you're keen-eyed like I am in the background here, is that this is actually some of the first footage, we think, from Mirak Valley. And if you guys have been keeping up with the channel, you will know that Mirak Valley is actually the largest map coming to Battlefield 6. It looks like a pretty desolate wasteland. It really gives me Battlefield 1 vibes. In fact, we've seen from some of the concept art, it's going to be quite muddy. There are trenches. All the buildings here have been abandoned. They're, falling down. There's even some twisted, steely structure in the background there, which actually kind of looks like a huge bridge, or it used to be a huge bridge. And not only that, but we also get our first footage of the poor old Bradley rolling in here whilst being struck by this mine. So that is nice to finally see some footage of one of the new maps, no matter how small. Now finally here we have a bit of an update on the Battlefield 2042 Phantom project. For those of you who know what this is, you've probably played Battlefield 4 and beyond. This is generally a big Easter egg hunt in Battlefield with many steps involved that culminates in the unlocking of a special weapon. In Battlefield 4, it was the Phantom Bow, and I have to admit, it wasn't that exciting, to be honest with you. In this game, rumour has it that it is a new prototype weapon, and I've even heard that it has like an underbarrel rocket launcher on it. Now, I don't want to confirm that or anything, and it is true that Temporal did data mine 3 weapons in this build of the game. 2 of them were of course the Lynx sniper rifle and the F2000 that are in the battle pass, or one of them you unlock by playing the beta in BF6. The third one he called a prototype weapon, and he called it the River Dweller. And at the time I really had no clue what that meant, but I think it's clear now that it is this prototype weapon that we're getting from the Phantom prospect. But the Battlefield communication account has just posted this, so even they're getting in on the action, dropping hints here. And they say, so it appears that the Penguins wanted in on the ongoing Phantom project taking place within Battlefield 2042, only their efforts were a hindrance versus facilitating, obviously. We're working to ensure the clues are present in the game with an upcoming hotfix. However, in the meantime, we have some files for you to look at and assess. The Penguins say, if you know, you know. So it sounds like they actually meant to patch these into the game with the previous update, the Iwo Jima update, and for whatever reason they didn't. So these are obviously some of the player cards you're going to be able to get here for the Phantom project. You are going to recognize the red skull on the left-hand side of this one, but they're also adding some additional ones. So they've got this greeny one here, and then this obsidian sort of metal-looking skull. That one is actually really cool. So how you unlock these and what it says on the descriptions of the player cards, I'm not sure, because often they give clues as to the Easter eggs as well and where they can be found. I would direct you guys to Danny on PC's channel. He generally covers all of the little steps for the Easter egg hunt, and he's got everything up to date. I will be doing a guide on my channel as well as soon as I can find time to go through all of the steps and get myself up to date with the Easter egg though. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Leave me your comments below as usual. What do you think about Mirak Valley, and also what do you think about this acoustic AV sensor mine? There's a lot of chatter right now on Twitter about whether this should even be in the game, because as I say, it does kind of just like really destroy that gameplay. Not destroy it maybe, but it just changes it in a noobish manner, I would say. So yeah, leave me those thoughts below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one.